I'm going to give you some different questions now. WWF. This guy, Championship Wrestling, says, who are your strongest advocates in your 1990 run in the WWF? And please give us your thoughts on that particular run and a decent push that never materialized.
I had stayed in contact with Pat Patterson because Dominic had been, close with him and friendly with him and everything. And I never once asked him for a job. It was just like, hey, I'm checking in. He'd ask me, how's your career going? How's your body doing? That kind of thing. And I called him and they didn't have anything. He said, we'll give you an opportunity. So I'll take it. And I went up and again, there was no, okay, Shane, tonight we're going to have this, start this angle with you. It was just sort of like I was thrown into matches. Okay, so tonight you'll wrestle Playboy Buddy Rose. Tonight you'll wrestle Steve Lombardi. Tonight you'll wrestle Haku, Black Bart, whoever. I always had great people to work with. And right towards the end of that first run, my first trip year and a half long, made good money, had nothing bad to say about the place. I loved it and was able to have good matches every night with people I worked with. So I would say they probably were my biggest proponents. I know Pat liked me. Pat saw something in me. And we were in Pittsburgh at the Civic Arena, and Jimmy Hart called me into his room, and he said, Vince wants to turn you into a rock star. I used to play bass and, write lyrics and things. And he had 3 songs. One was American Girls, one was Rockin' Down the Hall, and I can't for the life of me remember the third one. But he had 3 versions on a boombox: rock version, pop version, and heavy metal version. And he had me sing the lyrics to all 3 of these musical styles, and saw that I found my voice range fell into the middle range, the rock range. So we were going to start to align these stories, these songs, write these songs in that key, and go in. And that's when the girls there, the 3 sisters, had made the denim outfit that had the conchos and the white leather and stuff on it. Those were tearaway blue jean pants and tearaway top. That was for that character. Vince wanted to see, if you remember, Vince had tried his hand at boxing and bodybuilding and football and all these different things. He wanted to see if he could create a real rock star that could go, I guess, sort of like the Partridge Family type thing, right? Or worse, Milli Vanilli.
I was going to say Bad Street, USA, Michael Hayes.
Right. But I think that Jimmy had written some hit songs, right? And I think he wanted to make a legit go of this. Unfortunately, my father at that time had come down with stage 4 emphysema, and he'd never been sick a day in his life. And here he's basically fighting for his life. When you're on oxygen like that, you can't live alone. It's very dangerous because you have oxygen, and if you leave a fire burning someplace, you can blow the whole place up. So I had to leave the road to go tend to my dad. And I remember sitting down with Vince in Niagara Falls. He and I walked over, again, very cordial, completely different than what I found 5 years later. We went over, we sat and talked for a good hour and a half. Him telling me about how important family is, and I've been a good employee. The door's always open. Come back anytime. His exact words were, "You go home and take care of your family. I don't care if it's 1 year, if it's 5 years. When you're ready, your door's open to come back." So I, finish that first run out and leave and go take care of Dad. And Dad dies a couple years later. And by that time, I'd been teaching. So the first run in WWF, I have fond memories of. I made good money, had great people to work with. Me and Marty and Sean and Dustin, the guys in the dressing room used to call us the 4 Amigos because where you saw one of us, we all were. So again, 5 years later, hey, I'm great friends with these guys. When we come to Pittsburgh, they'd stay at my brother's house. He was a set designer in Hollywood. Give them the key to the house, make yourselves at home. So 5 years later, I'm expecting like, hey, these are my friends. Like, we're back together again, right? And vastly different time. The 95 trip and the 90 trip.